Alright, so you want to set off fireworks, but you don't want to get in trouble. What do? You make it in Hopscotch. So let's go to our Objects menu, which is right under this gray plus button, and let's pull out a text object, and let's make our text a big dot. And you can find that big dot by going to this number pad right here in the corner, and then you see this hyphen. Don't press that, hold it until you see this menu and go to the right and let go when you're above the dot. And now you have a big dot. Press done. And now let's give it some rules. So for the first rule, let's add a new rule. And for the when, let's pick when the play button is tapped. Okay, the first thing I want to do is make this dot invisible. So go to Looks and Sounds, pull out Set Invisibility, and tap 100, which makes it fully invisible. Now I want to make the screen behind the dot black. So go to Drawing, pull out Leave a Trail. For the color, pick black. For the width, pick 3000, which makes the entire screen black. That's how thick this trail will be. And then for Move Forward, pick 1. Let's see what that looks like. Cool. Go back to Edit. Next, let's make some clones. Go all the way down to Control Flow and find Create a Clone. Okay, so this block makes one clone of that dot, but we want 300 clones. So instead of dragging out 300 of these, let's just drag out one other block called Repeat. And this is a loop that we will drag this clone block into. And so right now it says 5, and that means we'd make 5 clones. Let's change that number to 300. Cool, so now we have 300 of these dots. Now let's get out of this rule by either tapping the X or above the script. And now let's add a new rule. So what I want to happen is that when I tap the iPad, fireworks will emerge from that spot. So I want to pick when the iPad is tapped. I want to make all our clones start wherever I tapped. So go to Movement, find Set Position, and for the X position, go to Values, which is next to Calculator right here. And we are in the dots values, that's what this menu is. I want to go to the iPad's values, which you can find under that gray arrow next to the dot. And now pick Last Touch X. And that tells us where we're touching along the left-right axis. And now tap on the Y bubble to the right, which is over here, and go to Values again, and pick Last Touch Y. And that tells us how high our last touched spot was. Great. So now all the clones will be in this one spot that we tap. Next, I want them to all move in different directions. So first, we need to set them at different angles. So find Set Angle, drag that out, and pick Random, which is under the numbers on the left. So tap on Random, and I want the angle to range from 0 to all the way to 360. And this is the full rotation, any angle. Now I want every dot to be a different color because fireworks are pretty and that's what makes them pretty. So go to Looks and Sounds and pull out Set Text and pick this little keyboard icon under the numbers. And now let's get rid of all this new text. Just back. And let's go find that dot again. So that was in the bottom left corner, those number symbols. Hold down on hyphen on the left until you find dot and let go. Done. And for color, tap on the color icon and pick Random Color. Cool. Now all these clones are invisible because we set the original dot to be invisible. So let's make them visible again. So drag out a Set Invisibility and set it to 0, which makes it not invisible at all. And now finally, let's move all these dots in a different direction. So find Move Forward, which is under the red Movement tab, and pick Random from 0 to 200. And let's see what that looks like. And tap wherever you want. Whoa! Cool! Oh my god, this is so celebratory. Okay, but we're not done. Now I want these fireworks to fall and fade away. So in order to move down, we need to use Change Y. So pull out a Change Y block and set it to -50. But we want it to fall slower than it came out of that spot. So we're going to have to add a Set Speed block right before this Change Y. and set the speed to 50. By default, every object has a speed of 400, so we've just slowed this down like to an eighth. But we're going to want this to repeat every time you tap the screen. So we have to drag one more set speed all the way up to the top. And let's make this actually 1,000 so that it really explodes when you tap the screen and then falls slowly. Finally, under all of this, let's set the invisibility to 100. And this makes everything disappear once it's fallen. Okay, let's play that. Cool, we're close. I feel like we can actually make this even prettier if we had them fade. So let's go back to edit. And let's add one more rule. Now for the when, this is a little trickier. Tap more and go down until you see equals. Now go to values next to calculator and see invisibility as a percent under the dots values. Tap that and make it 0. So this says this rule will start when the dots are totally visible. Now press check. Let's go to control flow. Let's drag out a repeat block. Let's set it to 50 repeats. And inside it, now go to looks and sounds and pull out a set invisibility block. And now add the plus block, which is right here. And for the first part, we're going to add the dots invisibility. So go to values and pick invisibility as a percent again. And for the second part, put 2. So this means if the dot is ever fully visible, if its invisibility is 0, then make its invisibility first 0 plus 2, which is 2, then repeat again 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, blah, 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 until you get to 100% invisibility. And what this ultimately means is that your dots are going to fade away as they're falling. You ready? Let's see what it looks like. Whoa, how pretty is that? And now you have super cool fireworks. You can change the colors, you can make them custom colors. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of cool ways people are going to play with this. So now you know how to make fireworks without setting your lawn on fire, and I can't wait to see what you guys make. Bye!